Hey, what's happening? Well, we're back for some more. This will be the episode that I'm going to do on the lights. I do want to start out here with a little bit of a rant. Looks like, wait a second. I'm sorry, I forgot I had that on. I look the same either way. Okay, so the rant that I have here is actually directed at fluval. I bought this tank. It's been, I want to say, I'm not exactly sure, 5 to 6 months ago. I want to say 5 months ago. So right away when I bought the tank, the plan was to use this tank, to set it up, do videos on it, enjoy the tank as well. But that was the whole plan. So I wanted to set it up. I wanted to do a video on the lighting. Well, I tried to get the spare light for the tank. It wasn't available. You couldn't get it at any retailer. You couldn't get it directly from Fluval. I called Fluval themselves. They said, no, we don't have a video, or we don't have a light for it at this time. I said, well, when can we get it? Because the kit comes with 2 brackets, so you can mount a second light in the hood. It's designed for 2 lights. And I wanted to be able to do a video on the lights themselves, so I kept after them. They kept saying, finally I got a hold of one person, and I don't know if they just said this to, because they seen I called a couple times, I'm not sure, but he says, oh, we'll have them available for sale in June. So I thought, okay, and I patiently waited. I waited till June. I held off. I waited and waited. June come around. I waited till actually about the middle of the month. I called them up. I says, hey, can we get this light? They're like, well, we don't have it available yet. I'm like, okay, so when is it going to be available? Oh, it should be any day now. Any day we should have this light available. So I kept after them, kept watching their website. Nothing showed up on their website. One day, out of the blue, they sent me an email with a link. The email said, good news, this light is available now for your tank. If you'd like to order, follow this link. I thought, hey, great. I followed that link. I went to directly to the site immediately. Whipped out the card, made a purchase. It was on its way. I waited. I'm not sure if it was, due to the current state of the situation in the country, but I waited and waited. It took, a little over 2 weeks. All at once it showed up, and I thought, hey, look at there, we got it. I open it up. There's no power cord. What am I gonna? No power cord? What am I going to do with a light with no power cord? So I immediately get on the phone, I emailed them actually. Said, hey, you know what? I got the light. Thanks for the the shipment and whatnot. It didn't come with a power cord. Well, it took them. Once again, like I said, I realize people aren't working in the office right now, and I realize there's a lot going on, and I'm not holding them against that. I mean, I understand the challenge that they're facing. What I'm not understanding is the information I was getting. So finally, after about 2 days, they sent a thing to me, said, hey, the power cord don't come with the light. If you want the power cord, that's another $60. $60 for a power cord? No link or anything. So I go to the site, can't find a power cord. I email them back and say, hey, you know what? I got the light now. I have no choice. Pretty much need to get the power cord, right? You got to have a power cord. Well, the power cord, finally the next day they did actually send me out a link to where I could buy this power cord. The link they sent out to me was for this power cord right here. This power cord, as you can see, it's not much of a power cord. $60. It's a little steep. If you're going to charge $60, you should definitely include it in the light and put it as part of the price so people don't know what this costs. Because wow, that's crazy. Anyways, they sent this to me. I plugged the light in. The light flashes on, flashes off. Flashes on, flashes off. I can't get it to sync. I can't get it to do anything. I get looking a little further. This power cord right here is for a different, like aqua skylight or something that they sell for a freshwater tank. Nothing to do with the one that I have. The power cord I need is this one right here, which, granted, $60 expensive, but hey, there might be some kind of technology in here I don't know about. You know, it's bigger, it's the real deal, it's got a lot longer cord, whatever. So I call him, or I text him back and I said, hey, you know, you sent me a link for the wrong power cord. And I actually tagged him in all the previous emails. At this point, I was pretty frustrated. I was, you know, about ready to just package the whole thing up, send it back and say, you know what, I don't need your light. Take the hood off, put a different light system on the tank altogether and start fresh. To my surprise though, the next day, I did get an email from a representative at the fluval. I'm not exactly sure if it said the name or not. I can't remember. I'm not going to use names anyways. However, they actually, you know, apologized. They said, hey, that cord that you got is inaccurate. You know, that's not the one, that they sent you the wrong link, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, well, great. But then that's all it said. And so I was like, okay, so I text them back and I'm like, hey, do you have the link for the right one? And then the cord that you gave me, being it's the wrong one, and it's the one I ordered, you told me to order, you said, hey, you know, I don't want to pay for shipping to return that to you. Well, you know, it went about a day without a response. Actually, a couple of days. It was over the weekend. So the next day, that Monday, I got an email. It says, hey, you know, we're sorry about the confusion. We're gonna send you out a cord, or we're gonna send you out the cord. You know, you don't have to return the other one. We're not gonna even worry about it. Just use it for something else if you decide to buy a light like that, or, you know, sell it or throw it away, whatever. We don't want it back. I'm like, all right, well, that's great. I'll keep that cord. And I waited, and actually, to my surprise, you know, I was literally like done with it. I was like, this is ridiculous. But all at once, just out of the blue, I get a package in the mail just a couple days after this email. The package come with this, which I needed. And then, really to my surprise, it came with a whole nother light. So they sent me this whole light and this power cord. So, you know, at the end of my rant here, I got to say they did treat me right. I wasn't happy. It was frustrating. You know, it seemed like an eternity, but when it's all said and done, given what they, you know, the way things are, people working at home, you know, that kind of thing, I just want to say, hey, they made it right. They actually figured it out, made it right. So now I actually have a brand new light, which is the one I originally ordered. You know, without a cord, of course. It's kind of a backup light if the other one burns out or something, or goes bad. Then I got a whole complete light with a cord. So I'm still one cord short or plug-in for a light. However, they did honor it. They gave me the whole, actually more than I asked for. I asked for a cord. They gave me the whole light with a cord. So I guess I do want to thank Fluval at the end of this here rant. You know, I was still frustrated about it. You know, it's been a while. I'm glad that I finally got that hashed out. You know, I'm ecstatic about the extra light because you never know, you know, if that's gonna, you know, if one of them is gonna break down, or if I decide I want a light for something else, maybe I can actually go on here in the future and just order the cord. That's something to keep in mind if you do have a Fluval 32.5 gallon saltwater tank, and you do order the extra light. Make sure you order the cord. Otherwise, when it comes, you're going to be disappointed because they don't come as a kit; they come individual. Otherwise, that's kind of the end of my rant. Sorry I went on so long. I do appreciate, once again, all you that subscribe and watch my videos. I do appreciate, you know, if anybody that comments, likes on the videos, even if you're not a subscriber, any interaction is good. It shows YouTube that people are watching. It helps them share my videos. Now let's get into the actual meat and bones of the video. I'm actually going to be talking about these lights, some settings on the lights, and we're going to be installing the second one on the tank. All right, so I just want to show you the light itself here up close so you can kind of get an idea. Basically we have pink, cyano, blue, purple, and cold white. So you can adjust everything individually from barely on to higher to high. So like that's the pink, okay? That's half pink, that's off. This is a cyan, it's C-Y-A-N. I may be saying that wrong. I apologize if anybody's a English teacher. But that's low, medium, high. That's full on. And then this is the blue itself on the light. Once again, that's low. You can see there's 2 rows of blue on that, so there's a lot of blue in this light. That's medium. And then that's high. You also have the purple, which is basically just a center row. That's going to be the low, medium, high. And then here's the white. By far the most lights out all of them in the white, and if you turn it all the way up, my camera can't even properly focus. There's a lot of white. Like I said, you can adjust it all the way down. I mean, you can have it so that it's just barely even on. But you got full adjustment there. There is an auto setting on it that if you see, well, let's do it a different way. So if we go to the manual setting, we'll go just real low white, and then we'll add some purple. You see in the middle there where you can see the purple. And then we'll add some blue. You can see on the outside where the blue is coming on. These are all low settings. I'm trying to do it so you can see the individual colors. You see them, the cyan. And then here would be the one, should be easy to see the red. But they're all adjustable. And there's timers on here. There's presets on here. You can set each one yourself. You can have them set, for individual lights. You can have them set to go as a program. There's an auto setting, pro setting, just strictly manual. You can have them come on at a certain time, off at a certain time. And it's all adjusted. Everything I'm doing here is off of a phone. There is actually a power button on this light, which I'll show you here. But the light itself on this tank is mounted in the hood, and it's in a position where you would never use that touch button because you'd have to literally take the light out to use it, and you don't want to do that. But the button on here, if you have it on a different, see, it's right here, and it's just touch. I don't know the exact touch on it. I haven't played with it much because, like I said, I don't use it. But like one touch is white, one touch is blue, one touch is red. Touch for a certain amount of time. It's all of them. But that would be more useful if you were using it on something where it was just hanging openly. This will be actually mounted up in the hood. We're going to mount one in the hood here in a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean by this button being completely useless. You pretty much need the phone app to run it. Not that it don't work with this, it's just that it would be completely unusable unless you took the light out every single time you wanted to use it and put the light back in, which would make no sense for anyone. But I'll go grab that hood, and then we'll take that one down. We'll show you here how we're going to install this and the brackets that come with. Basically, when you buy the tank, it comes with 2 brackets for a second light with the intention for you to buy a light. Before we get started on this part of it, I do want to just show you this. This is kind of what I would call somewhat of a design flaw. With it mounted in the hood and with evaporation and that type of thing, I'm not quite sure how you'd get away with it unless you obviously took it out of the hood and eliminated the hood altogether. But if you're going to use the hood, this is going to be a problem that you're going to see. Salt, water spray is going to build up on the light. It does obviously just wipe right off. It's not a big thing. It's it's glass. But that will, I would assume, I don't have one of those fancy underwater light checkers to check the PAR of everything. But I'm assuming as that builds, that would lessen the amount of light you're getting off the light. So it is something you're going to want to periodically wipe off when, you know, when doing your weekly water changes, that type of thing. But I just wanted to show you that's one flaw that I do kind of believe. I don't know exactly, like I said, how you'd fix it, but it's a little bit of a flaw in the system. I also want to point this out. You see that screw there in that bracket? And then if you go across to the other side here, you have another screw. It's currently in the center. If you look at the bracket, which is fine because we're going to move it to one side. They do have preset holes, one there and one there. So I can simply just take and move it over to one side and then put the other light on, which is nice. But I just wanted to point that out to you. It's set up for it. Thought I'd show you this as well here. Basically, just takes your standard, no big deal screwdriver. They come in real easy. They're just pushed into plastic. Now, when you're putting the new one on, or when you're putting them back on, you're going to want to be extra careful. No power tools here, because you strip that plastic out, you're done. I suppose you could always take it and super glue it, you know, if you did strip it out, but that would be no good either, because then it'd be hard to ever remove. It's best to take your time with it. Same exact setup over here on the other side. Just a simple. They're not hard to. They're not large screws, and they're not hard to take out. I said that, and then I just about couldn't get that one out, but they come out all right. So it's the same setup. I'll be cleaning these pieces up here, same way with this light. Now, the one thing that I did notice here that they don't have, and I'm not sure why, is if you look at the way it's set up, there's kind of a back plate here for that light to sit against, you know, on each side, so it's basically can't move. I don't know how much movement it would do with these brackets anyways, but it would have been nice if they'd have had one here and here. And then this channel here is actually a channel for the cord itself from the light. That way it stays up in your hood. Kind of stays up there right where you want it. Just follows it right out the back to the hole. But I'll get that light cleaned up, and then we'll get that other one and we'll mount them both in here. Alright, so you can see the lens cleans up fairly good. I got a little bit of little residue here that I got to just a little scratch off. I'll go over that once I get the light mounted in. It's easier than actually the light sliding around while I'm doing it. But just to show you how these clips work, it's not a... I did actually mention earlier, before I actually had this apart, about this piece. But this piece actually catches the corner on each side. So it does actually do the same thing. They actually knew what they were doing here, so, which is a good thing. But as you can see, it touches, so you know exactly where you want the light to be. Then you would just take your bracket and your screws, helps if you have little kid fingers here for this, which I don't. But then you just simply put it on the, it kind of clip, you can kind of hear it clip when you know that you're in the right spot. And then the same process. You don't want to use a power tool for this. This is just real light plastic. 1/2 overturn, you're done. Then it's either super glue or throw it away. You can easily destroy something by over tightening it when it's cheap, you know. I hate to say it, but it is just cheap plastic. It's nothing. There's no really other way to say it. It's just cheap plastic. It does the job. It's what it needs to do. I'm not going to say it's any kind of high quality equipment or anything, because it really isn't. It's just plastic. You have a magnetic tip, which I'm not sure if this is. Of course it isn't. It could help with fat fingers. But I'll do this on this side, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I found out why the light fit a little funny afterwards. I kind of forced it in there, but then after I looked at it, I wasn't happy with it, so I took it out. If you look right here, I'll try to get there. See this spot right here and right here, up here and here. Now you can see where they come down and they kind of curve out. Well, these little chunks were in there like, well, they were like this, each one of them. And so the light was riding up on this. And that's why things seem like they fit a little tighter than they should have when I was doing the video. So what I did after I took a good look at it, and I just took this razor blade and I just trimmed those spots off. And now you can see I got a small clearance there between the light and the bracket. This is something I had to do. I'm not sure if everyone will have to do it, or if it was like a molding area on the tank top. Something to keep in mind though, when you're putting two lights in on the back side here, it's not going, if it's like mine, it's not going to fit just right without trimming that out. Now that I did that, now it all sits right. You know, if you look, see, they got them, they're all mounted in, you know, so you don't have to worry about them falling out. They're all in place. So that's basically how that's going to look underneath the tank. While I have it off the tank here, I thought I'd show you this. I'm going to do more on this part of it here, but just to give you an idea. So like if you pick this light, it's going to find it, and then you have this on button. You click that on, and then this would be your manual controls. Now if you want to, you can do each light individual, so you would just click this one, same thing, click that on. See, then you have both of them on. The manual controls here, obviously if you want it all the way on, there you have it. Then you'd go back to the other side. I'm sorry about this focusing here. All this light has got the... And then you'd have the same thing here if you wanted to turn them full blast. But anyways, we'll get more into that. I just wanted to give you a quick shot of what that would be about and how the app actually works. Just hit that if you want to shut them off. You know, and going back to that first part that I had mentioned to you. Oh, I hit the wrong one. So there, see, they're off. No, going back to that first part I mentioned to you. So that light switch that's underneath here, you know, that I know there's a lot of people that have talked about them on their other lights. They don't like the touch part of it or whatever. On this particular light, you really don't have to worry about it, because unless you take these brackets off and take the hood off, there's no reason to even worry about it because everything is done through the phone. But we'll take this over then and we'll hook it on the tank here and we'll take a look at it. Might be a little bit more information than you necessarily need, but it was something I was concerned about because I hate cords. I like to keep them all tied up and out of the way. And as you can see here, we have the cord for this one. And if I put that one in first on the outside and I push it down in the groove, it goes in, and then you're wondering, well, what do you do with this other one? Well, it's actually deep enough to where they both fit. It's designed for the two cords. And actually it's designed as an out right here. You can see over here, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. It's bad photography. Bad video. Okay, so what I'm doing over here is basically, if I take it out here, there's a hook. See this little hook? I can take it out and feed them both. That way they're in this groove, and it's they're pretty tight in there actually. And then they come over here and they go under this hook. That way you know they're not hanging in the water. I don't know that, I mean, they are coated and they're made for this, but that way they're not hanging in the water and they're up out of the way. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little shot. These two cords right here, those are actually the ones coming from the light, so you can see that they're way above the water level and they're heading out the back. Same way with the other cords. The way they have this hood set up is designed to keep the cords up out of the water and keep them out. It also should help with any potential water drippage, water following the cord, that thing down to the electrical. And then it's basically the same thing. It's just, as always, it's pretty sealed up. One thing I am kind of concerned about with this hood is I do notice that even with, let me show you here if I can get it on the screen. You can see right here, I just took the light off, been working on the tank. We got 78.6, right? Well, once I had the light, when the light was on, it was damn near at 80. So it's cooled down since we've been messing with this. But now that I'm gonna run both these lights, I'm pretty concerned with it heating up to the point where it's too much. If that's the case, I might have to put some type of fan up here. We'll play it by ear. Right now I can't. I got to run the Kato reactor at night. I have to run that at night, and then the lights during the day. If I run them both together, it gets too hot. So I'm assuming a whole nother light strip is probably going to make the tank too hot. This is kind of what the tank looks like without any light other than just, being daylight outside. Okay, so I thought I'd fire the lights up here. This is on full. Now that's just one. Let's see if we can tell when we put the other one on. Hold on one second, I'll get that pulled up. Okay, that's the other one. Can you see the, okay, you see that how it dims down some. There's still plenty of light, but then you can see it brighten back up. Now that's full light, that's two of them. And then you got, let me see here if we can. So if I just take and let's say I just shut all of them down. Now that's just blue on one and full blast on the other. Now if I take the other one and shut it down, that's just blue on both. I mean, I don't have a lens on there to give you an idea, but that's a ridiculous amount of blue. I mean, there's plenty of light there, let's put it that way. Then if you add, that's red on one, that's the cyan. Now if I take the blue off, that's blue off on one, all blue on one and all red on the other. So that would be all blue, all purple, all blue and then one's all blue, one's all white. So you have tons of options here. Basically if I switch this one down, say to all red, I don't know why you do that, but we'll just show you. Then I go to the other one and put it on all red. That's the whole tank, both lights just red. Then you add some purple on one. You can see the little change there. On the other one here, let's pull it up. Some purple on that one. You can see how the changes, if I dump in the white, that's just white on one light. Now if I switch to the other light and I pull on white, you can see how it really brightens. Everything's been in the dark, so most stuff's kind of closed up right now, but I'm going to let this set for a little bit, and then I'm going to maybe do a little bit of this here as it gets dark. Maybe that'll help show you a little bit. And then I think, I'm not sure, I might make this a 2-video setup. We'll just see how much time it takes here. The reason being is there's a lot of settings, and I know that the majority of the people that asked for this video, because I had a lot of people ask for a video on these lights. The majority of the people that asked for this video wanted to know what I use as settings. Not that my settings are what you should use, it's what I use. I mean, that's the thing with these tanks, and that's why they're so adjustable, is you have to adjust it to what works for you. If you are having algae problems and you need to fix it, you need to reduce the white light, increase the blue light. There's so many variations of lights, and you have to just come up with what works for you. But I will definitely go into a video here showing what I do, and I'm going to play around with these 2 lights here for a little bit, because now I have a whole nother light that I haven't had before, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. If I put that one like that, I just put that one on auto. See where the other one here is. Now they're both on auto, but I'm going to play around with them, like I said, for a little bit here. And we'll probably, this is getting long with my rant here. I don't want to make the video too long. I know that I do get a little winded on some of these videos. I like to try to get in depth, because when I watch videos, to be honest with you, a lot of times people go through things fairly quick, and it may make complete sense to them. But I'm watching it, rewinding the video, watching it, rewinding the video, trying to figure out, hey, what did you do? How come, like the light where I had to cut that little piece of bracket out? Well, how come mine don't work and yours did? I get a little crazy in detail, because I think that when I see a video like that myself, I appreciate it, even though the video is longer, just because I want to know what I'm up against. Some people want just a quick, short answer. They're, very smart, and they can figure it out, but I guess that's the way I like it myself. So I think we're going to call this one a close right now on this particular video. We'll pick up another one. I'll do a video here. I'll get out a couple phones and we'll do little screenshots, and that way we can watch the tank, and we can adjust the lights, and I can show you what mine does from morning till night, because there's settings on here, and then once you set it, you can hit a button and watch in a real quick time, like within 30 seconds, what's going to happen over the day. We'll take a look at it then. We'll take a better, closer look, maybe even take a shot and see what the tank looks like when everything's in there and open. Once again, I say it over and over again. I know you're probably sick of hearing it. I want to thank you all who have subscribed. I want to thank you all who have commented and liked. Please, if you like the videos, give me a subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe because you don't want to be reminded when my videos are out, but you do watch them occasionally, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you don't like the video, mark it down. Any interaction you can give me tells YouTube that people are watching the video and helps me get views, which I need to have views to keep making these videos for you. So please feel free. As for that, I'll see you next time. Have a good day.